Welcome to the 8/8 Lionsgate portal, everybody. This happens every year in Leo season, hence the Lionsgate, and it's said to be associated with, or one of the associations is ancient Egypt. And this is how I resonate with it, because I love, the people that know me know I love ancient Egypt, goddess Isis, the gods, goddesses, the power of the stars, also astrology. So Leo the sun is aligned with Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, and it's also aligned with Orion's belt. And this happens, as I say, every year, but it's a portal from the 26th of July to around about the 12th of August, but it peaks today 8/8. 8 is the infinity symbol, so that's a power sign in itself, it's a power symbol in itself, and that's about transformation. So we have an opportunity today to transform something to do with the Leo energies of our life, which is our heart, our solar plexus, our power, courage, strength, confidence, filled with blessings. Who doesn't want that? Lower vibes of Leo is our ego, so we are prepared to leave our ego behind and walk through a portal into a higher mind, because our ego keeps us safe. And our ego can shut down our heart, so we can work from a very egotistical way rather than our heart-led consciousness. I pulled a few cards before I came on camera, guys, and then I'm going to end with a message from the Queen of the Sun. Beautiful deck. I'm going to end with a message, a personal, collective message is going to go into that. But before we get into it, because this is such a powerful time, manifestations, that's a buzzword, I know, but this comes from our heart. If we manifest from our head, our ego, yes, we can manifest, but usually it comes with a little bit of a challenge. But if we come from our heart, it comes from more of a passionate ease, flow and grace way. I'm also going to tap into my Syrian Starseed Tarot. This only comes out a couple of times a year when there's powerful alignments, because these are very deep energies. So I'm going to pull on the Syrian Starseed. Remember, the star Sirius is an ancient star that's been worshipped for thousands of years by the Egyptians, but many other cultures too. Now, the first card I pulled was this one, and this is the initiation. Goddess Isis, here she is with her son Osiris. Horus, not Osiris, that was a husband. A son child. The sun, so the sun is the essence of who we are. We hold a lot of power in the sun. And we want to birth from a more positive, higher consciousness of our power of our heart, like I mentioned. So you've been initiated. And this card says, spiritual testing of Ra and the lady Isis. Now, Ra is the sun god. When we're being initiated, it can feel uncomfortable. It tested us to see if we're coming from our ego or our heart. And so I feel like a lot of us are still in this, but also we might be coming out of it. And this is where the portal is saying we have an opportunity to step through now. We've worked through the tests. How much have you wanted to leave your ego behind and try to go to a higher understanding? But I also felt when I pulled the tarot, the Seven of Wands fell out. Well, it wasn't the Seven of Wands. They have different meanings in this one, but it was the Seven of Wands, which is Mars in Leo, which is the conflict, the battle, always having to defend your heart, defend your peace. And I feel like there's a portal here. A portal that we can walk through. So whether you want to close your eyes and imagine now what's in your heart. Is there any anger, resentment from the betrayal, from the sorrow, from the loss, from the grief, wherever it might be? It's going to be different for everybody. But this is where you've been initiated, and it wants you now to leave that behind and transform it into a higher expression. So that was the first message that came out. Then I pulled my Egyptian gods. Remember, it's very Egyptian energy I'm working with right now, to coincide with the Sirius and Orion's belt. And I pulled change. So there's the scarab beetle. Scarab beetles in ancient Egypt used to protect especially the dead. Protect them when in the afterlife. Protect them from evil spirits. So there's change coming in, but I feel like you're protected right now. And you've got to go in that higher understanding that you are, whatever you've been initiated through, whether you're in it, you're at the beginning of it, at the end of it. Know that it is all been for a reason and that you're protected. So there's the scarab god, and his name is Kefri or Kepri, and it's about change. Now, the Lionsgate portal happens on the 8/8 today when I'm recording this, and then tomorrow it's the 9th of August, which is the full moon in Aquarius, which is the opposite sign of Leo. Aquarius energy is freedom. Aquarius energy is breaking free, ruled by Uranus, sudden shocks and changes. So remember, when we're being initiated, it can be uncomfortable, but whatever is being initiated, and it might feel uncomfortable, there might be a shock and revelation, especially over the next week or so. But remember, you've got to come from a higher perspective. The next card I pulled was transformation. Now on here, this is Anubis, number 11 on this card. So it's the divine angel number 11. But that's about balance, it's about peace. And on here, he's got the scales. And they used to wear, apparently, according to the Egyptian mythology, they used to put, when you passed over or you were ready to pass over into the stars, your soul was ready to go on to the next level, the next evolution, they used to wear your heart with a feather. And if it was balanced, that means your heart was pure and you were ready to pass over. If it didn't, maybe you went into the underworld. I don't know. I'm not quite up on that, and I'm not quite sure where you would go. But they used to, it's a bit of a judgment energy. How pure is your heart? Where can you let go and let God, which is not something I usually associate God with, but let go and let God. Where can you surrender some old resentment, anger, grief, sorrow? Where can you make peace with the situation from a higher understanding? Not your mind, your ego, not this fear of fight or flight or survival. One of peace, joy, happiness, forgiveness even. Forgiveness of the situation, not necessarily the people, places or things that caused you hurt. But this is wanting you to balance out something in your heart. And the feathers are very angelic, but they're also light. So it's where your heart is becoming, you're walking through a doorway to create to release the heaviness in your heart. That's where the change is coming. Then we have here completeness. Completeness. Now he's got a lotus, blue lotus, at the top of his head. The lotus flower has, for me, 33 petals. And it's about opening them petals and becoming open to a higher understanding within your heart. Now the god here is Nefertum, completeness. There's something you're complete with, or you have an opportunity to be complete with. It's up to us how heavy we want our heart to feel. And then I pull this card here. This is actually from the Queen of the Sun Oracle. Discipline. Now look at the pyramids in the background. Look at the sun. Is it rising or it's setting? But either way, it's power, it's order. There's something about the divine masculine that's been healing within your heart. The old ego mind that's coming up with this energy of this 8/8 portal. And then at the bottom of the deck, there was Set. Now Set was associated with not a very nice, and it was an envious and jealous energy, a deceptive energy. So we have goddess Isis, who was married to Osiris, who then gave birth to a son child, Horus. Remember, we pulled the Horus energy here, the sun child. That's where you've been initiated. That's where this energy has been wanting your attention. Whatever that is, a long cycle, an ancestral cycle, you'll know what this is. He's got a bow and arrow. It's where you want to direct your anger, resentment. I also feel There's in the astrology, there's what we call a kite configuration. It looks to me like a kite, but also this is like a Sagittarius energy. The bow and arrow wanting to point you into a different direction. It wants you to point you away from this set energy, from this deception or fear of deception, lies, manipulation, revenge. Set killed his brother, Osiris, and left goddess Isis alone. She was the queen of the sun, if you like. He was the king of the sun, but also then become the king of the underworld when he passed over. And this is saying to me that there's some resentment that we're needing to make peace within our heart. But we have the option with this 8-8 portal to leave something heavy in our heart that's taken our power. Because remember, when we hold on to resentment, anger, guilt, shame, they're low vibrations. And them low vibrations can distract us from the joy, which is Leo, the joy, the fun, the laughter of life. So let's get into the energy now of my Syrian Starseed Tarot. Now, these cards are exceptionally big. Oh, I've only got little hands. So bear with me while I try and shuffle the deck. What do we have? I'm going to pull 3 cards. My favourite number 3. What do we have? 8-8 Lionsgate portal. The Chariot. Cancer energy. Pushing forward. This most certainly can be home, children, family, the mother energy, the feminine, going into the higher consciousness, where we haven't feel nurtured and loved because our heart's being closed down because we've always been in that defensive. Remember I mentioned the 7 of Wands? Battle. Ready for battle, survival. Protecting our heart, protecting our power. This is saying it's time to push forward. Now, currently in astrology, Jupiter is residing in Cancer, which is expanding. It's trying to bring some peace to the Cancer energies, which is home, children, family, making peace. So something, Jupiter is a benefic, it's an expansive planet. It's associated with good luck, good fortune. But how can we expand? Now remember, Jupiter expands. How can we expand if what's residing in our heart is anger, resentment, fear? That's what's going to expand. So it's up to us at this Lionsgate portal to step up them steps. If you can imagine a big portal, a big white portal at the end of the steps, at the top of the steps, and stepping through and leaving this heaviness in your heart behind. You don't have to put any detail to this. You don't have to put the whys and the wherefores. You can just know that once you step through that, trust, surrender, that you're pushing forward and you want to bring some peace to your heart, however that comes in. Now remember, we've got this full moon tomorrow, which is about freedom. And it's a big, powerful moon. There's some heavy aspects associated with it, but I don't like to go into the negative. I feel any kind of heaviness is an opportunity for us to grow. So there's some kind of freedom within a heaviness that wants to come in with this full moon. I'm going to record the full moon in Aquarius, guys, so watch out for that on my channel too. The Chariot pushing forward. Beautiful. What else do we have? The 2 of Orbs. So this is like the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups is, would you believe? It is Mercury in Cancer. Sorry, it isn't. It's Venus in Cancer. Venus has just entered Cancer. So we have Jupiter, benefic, Venus, benefic, both in Cancer. So this 8-8 portal is saying to us, we need our heart to feel safe. Because that's what the Cancer energy is all about. It's the home, children, family. And it's where you feel safe with your tribe, your friends, your co-workers, whatever it is, feeling at home. And remember, home is where the heart is. So there's something about a balance that's needed. 2s are about balance. And this is where we have to make a choice. This is where we're needing to make a choice. What else do we have? Can you believe it? We've got Aquarius energy. Aquarius energy. Now, what I'm going to do, because this is an Egyptian boat, and this is that when you, there's a word for it, and I'm going to I'm going to find the booklet, because it was a, and there's the star. There's the Sirius star. Let me just find the deeper message in this book with the star. And this might give us a bit of a clue as to what this wants us to set ourselves free from. Because remember, the star's associated with Aquarius, and that's where the full moon is tomorrow. And again, we're breaking free. Uranus, planet of shocks, changes and surprises. The star, here we go. Where's my glasses? They're on top of my head. Star. So this says, from the illumination of a bolt of lightning and all the consequence of its impact upon our illusions, appears a clear pathway. This clear pathway comes in for the new manifestations, which is about 8-8 portal. It's about manifestations, about blessings. So we're always seeking to remember who she or he really is and where she or he really comes from. Starseed gazes out upon the star-filled night, where the most brilliant of stars, Sirius, in the constellation of the Canis Major, shines brightly overhead. Because the Egyptians equated the pharaoh with the sun, papyrus renderings, so that just means paperwork. Papyrus is it's what the Egyptians used to write on. So there's paperwork and writings that have depicted him moving through the celestial canopy with Sirius in his staff. So that's Sirius star there. So clearly he represents the relationship between Sirius and our sun god Ra, sun in Leo. To the starseed, so this is a light worker, starseed, what you want, it's the higher consciousness. To the starseed who longs to return to the stars, it is the most poignant of all keys. And to those of us who are remembering the starseed origins, it's time to embody our hope, our inspiration, and a prophecy of the rebirthing of Gaia. It is filled with optimism, beauty, and the illumination of star beings across the universe. The image includes the 3 stars of the triennial Syrian star system, and this is described in detail in the works of the Syrian revelations. So the Sirius A, Sirius B, Sirius C. The Egyptians referred to them as the Star Sisters, and indeed they are. Hence, it also invites us to contemplate the ascension process, which many of us, we have come here in this lifetime to experience. It speaks of joy, hope. It speaks of blessings, guidance, aspiration, and ascension. When this card appears, it is joyful. Well, that is Leo. It is blessings. That is Jupiter. It's a messenger. That is Mercury. And Mercury is currently in the sign of Leo, which is retrograde. That means we've been getting messages. With this 8-8 portal, it wants to listen to your heart. The primary question arises here is, what do I dream for in my future? What will this transition be like? How am I working towards healing the planet and others? And it's also about healing yourself. How can I reconnect with my starseed origins? Do I shine the light for others to share? How does my trust reflect upon my path? And where is my starseed home? So again, going back into that Chariot energy of the Cancer energy of the home. Some of you might, well, a lot of you, and I think when you watch my channel, I do go into the higher understanding of we've come here for a purpose. We've come here for a reason. And when we have big portals like this, we have a chance to reset, to reflect, and to heal. So again, looking into this energy, it is a powerful portal that we can let go and let God. So I'm going to pull a final message from the Queen of the Sun. If you're liking this, guys, do hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it just helps my channel to be seen. And I know that you're supporting me and liking these videos too. Let's have a look. The Sun Oracle, Sun Queen. What is the final message with this 8-8 portal? Focus. focus. Now, she's got a candle at the top of her head. One of them Egyptian gods had a lotus flower at the top of his head. Where are we burning away the heat of the candle, the fire, heat of the sun, Sirius? Burning away some old beliefs in our mind that are blocking our heart from joy, happiness. This is where it's wanting you to focus right now. What else do we have? Vitality. Yeah. If you think about the energy of resentment, anger, fear, they dampen your joy, your vitality, your life force energy. That is what your fire is within you. And this is what your solar plexus is. So if this is filled with joy, if this is filled with fear, it blocks your joy. If it's filled with fear, resentment, anger, all the low vibes, it blocks your confidence. It blocks your spark and your life force. So it's time to let this go, but we have to let it go from our heart, not our mind. And that's a big ask sometimes, guys. But this has got, that's interesting. There's 3 ladies here. And remember this energy that said it was related to the 3 sisters? Sirius A, B and C. There's some kind of trilogy, possibly to do with the feminine, maternal energy here, that's maybe been blocking your fire, your spark, your confidence, your joy. The 3 sisters. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Bit cryptic, but if it fits, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. And I'll see you over at the full moon in Aquarius. Bye for now.